This is my Eldar house army. It's for guests, comprised mostly of eBay rescues that I stripped and then speed painted, although on a few units such as the Banshees I really did give it my all. Circa millenniums 25 to 30. Before the fall of their potent interstellar empire, the Eldar were a technologically and psychically advanced humanoid species, generally considered the most powerful intelligent race in the entire galaxy. Their technology had advanced so far that little or no labor was required by individual Eldar to provide the daily necessities of life. As a result of the sheer boredom that resulted, at some point during the 25th millennium, groups of Eldar began forming cults dedicated to hedonism. Here's a quick fun tip. Those orange fire dragons, those are the first miniatures I ever painted. And I don't mean Eldar or 40k, I mean one of those 5 is the first model that I ever touched a brush to. Despite the prediction of the reclusive Eldar seers that warned of impending doom if the Eldar did not change their ways, government within the Eldar Empire soon collapsed and the moral degeneration of their homeworlds and various colony worlds continued unimpeded. Now, upon dying, the soul of all deceased sentient beings traverse the bounds of the physical realm and go to rest within the hyperdimensional realm of psychically reactive energy that undergirds all of reality, known as the Immaterium, or Warp. As more and more corrupt Eldar died, their souls began to coalesce into a larger entity within the Warp, a living representation of the hedonistic corruption that had taken their lives. This growing presence in the Warp caused massive warp storms to aggregate across the galaxy, eventually making interstellar travel and communications impossible for the colonies of humanity, bringing on mankind's Age of Strife. This collection of corrupt Eldar souls gained sentience sometime in the late 30th millennium, creating the powerful new warp entity known as the Chaos God Slaanesh, the Prince of Pleasure, called She Who Thirsts by the Eldar. When Slaanesh came to be, an ethereal explosion occurred that spanned the extent of warp space within the Milky Way galaxy, with the epicenter being located within the Eldar homeworlds. All Eldar caught in the immense psychic blast were instantly killed, their souls consumed by Slaanesh. Most of the remaining Eldar gods who existed within the warp were destroyed by Slaanesh. The fall utterly destroyed the once vast interstellar Eldar empire, leaving scattered bands of Eldar fighting for survival. Before the fall, vast spacecraft called craft worlds were constructed, enabling those wishing to escape the degeneration of the Eldar homeworlds to flee, along with samples of their lost world's flora and fauna. When the fall occurred, the various craft worlds rode out the shockwave in the warp, some being destroyed in the process. The Exodite worlds, far from the epicenter of the terrible catastrophe, were largely untouched by the birth scream of Slaanesh. In order to prevent the events of the fall from ever recurring, the Eldar devised the Eldar Paths system, by which every Eldar would follow a strict, almost fanatical life path pursuing a specific activity, such as crafting or war, for a portion of their long lifespans, before switching to another path when the previous one grew stale. I hope you enjoyed this overview of my Eldar collection. You can see them in action in my battle reports. There's a playlist for them from my YouTube homepage. I'm Wylock. Make things, play games.